So we're going to start soon. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. While you're waiting for people, I can show you the art, what we're having in our office. We have such things, here. So some interaction while you're waiting. Actually, all of these things were painted by our colleagues. So let's start. It's Wednesday, 6:02 Latvian time. So we can go on with a webinar, which is named First Party Data Marketing for e-commerce. Let's start with introduction. And yeah, just please let me know right in the chat in case you can't hear well or something is not working. My name is Glebs. That's me in a bit different position. Who knows, maybe I'm now in the same way. So yeah, everything you need to know about me. My name is Glebs, and I'm within the e-commerce for quite a while. So today I'll host a webinar and try to share all knowledge I have on the topic. I saw some people writing in the chat, paintings are great, nice. So yeah, I really loved you enjoyed the paint. I can show some more around the office, but maybe later. So yeah, that's me. Feel free to ask any questions after the webinar and connect afterwards. And why actually I'm here today and speaking on the topic. I'm starting recent conferences and webinars with same slides, but just to give you some explanation why we are here and speaking on the topic. Overall, we as a company spent more than 3 million hours on e-commerce optimization and development. From other perspectives, that's more than 360 years. And actually, with the time, you can go around the globe by foot 136 times. I wasn't doing it myself. It's based on the Google calculations. So it's quite a time. And so it all means that we had quite a lot of time to think about the e-commerce and how we can help overall merchants to earn more, to grow their e-commerce. And recently, our growth team, the team who is working specifically on figuring out the new revenue streams for e-commerce businesses, they were thinking about these three topics. First of all, about first-party data, why everyone's speaking about it, and what is zero-party data, and why now? Then what really it takes on practice to implement first-party data strategy into your store, and some hints, top and tricks from the commercial merchants we work with to implement these strategies. These three topics, our team was really thinking recently, and today, that's actually our agenda for today, to go through all of them in the next 40 minutes or around that time. Feel free to use the Q&A part. So just drop the questions. We'll try to answer them during the webinar, or we'll answer them afterwards. Let's see if time allows. So let's go on. First of all, let's start with defining what actually is the first-party data. If you Google, you'll get the explanation that first-party data is information that you passively gather from the user interactions. There is a first-party data, second-party data, third-party data, a lot of different terms. We need to navigate into them to go through today's webinar. So basically, when someone goes to the e-commerce store, and they make an order, or they basically they make an order, pass to you their name, surname, address, email address, or they came to your store and you start tracking them and getting their behavior data. That's what is counted as first-party data. What other things you'll get in Google is that first-party data is actually the most valuable kind of data businesses can get, because it comes directly from the source. You're not buying it somewhere. You're not using third-party databases. So, and it really means that it gives all the marketing people really good insights, since it gives direct explanation from your customers, like it's direct insights from the customers, and where else you can get such a great information if not from your customers directly. So all the marketers really love first-party data. It's hard to get it, but there is nothing better actually than it. We are clear what is first-party data, but why, like a year ago and now in all the blogs you can hear, oh, first-party data matters, you need to gather it more. Why it's happening? There are three main reasons. As you're aware, data privacy landscape is changing a lot, and especially with updates from Apple and Google. Like last year, you got the notifications on your iPhones, iPads that you now choose if you want allow Apple to track the apps where are you, and most of the people didn't allow. So these are the changes which making the marketer's life not so easy anymore. And privacy concerns will only grow over the time. So it's really matters, and that's what puts first-party data on top of the priority of the list. And it's actually make it the only way to target audiences in a cookieless world. As you're aware, third-party cookies will go away quite soon. So already some browsers limited third-party cookies, and in a year, like Google Chrome and the rest will block of them completely. So you won't be able really to rely on them for remarketing purposes. Someone visits your store, then you want to show them products which they just saw, or you want to show them the coupon code. You can't really do it anymore. So therefore, you can have first-party data to retarget customers on your own. So it all means if you really want to future-proof your business and you want to survive further, if you haven't started yet, but actually you're already doing it organically, but you may want to put much bigger efforts on start collecting this data, and what really means to owning data on your own. So really, like this image, start owning the data and being really the only owner of it. So you decide to whom you give the data. It's not stored in a Facebook audiences. It's not stored somewhere else. It's stored in your own databases, and you're the one who decide, oh, now I give it there, or I give it there. These are like three main reasons. And to summarize really, so it's explaining why now, but overall, why first-party data matters. Seven simple points. It does rely on the third-party data. It's all clear. It's a first-party data, very logical. Then overall, with the first-party data, you're getting higher returns on investments because you can get deeper insights of the users. You can target better your marketing campaigns. It's as such, it empowers your consumers since they can trust you more. They're sharing data with you, and they know with whom they're sharing. They're not sharing with 100 different parties out there. It can boost also brand loyalty, since when customers are sharing with you more data, it means they trust you more and are really sharing the data only to the brand to whom I trust. You're really, with the first-party data, you're owning the data, not someone else. And it allows you to have more meaningful customer insights. It's really not data on the surface what you're getting, but these are deep insights. Maybe what I'm not sharing to my friends even, but I'm sharing it to you as e-commerce business. And overall, first-party data topic comes together very closely with personalization topic. So a lot of merchants are using it to personalize content and have it for more accurate targeting for your marketing campaigns. I think we are now clear on why first-party data matters and overall why people are speaking about it. Please, if you are not, drop a message in the chat. Let me review the chat. Nobody's writing, so everyone is clear. And then we are clear on the first-party data. Now there is a topic about zero-party data. Zero-party data, what is it? You just like Glebs, you were telling us about the first-party data. Is there also zero-party data? There is zero-party data is a new term which appeared in 2018 only, and it's one of these fancy terms. And usually, when people speak about the first-party data, they also mean zero-party data. So you're not mistaken if you are speaking about just first-party data, not as such, not using the term zero-party data. But all in all, such term exists, and let's dive into a bit more. So, what is it? Where first-party data actually is passive. So customers are getting to the store, they give you first-party data. They don't really have a choice not to give it to you because, let's say, they won't be able to make an order without sharing this information to you. While zero-party data is proactive. So consumers are not only allowing you to gather zero-party data, but they're actually choosing on their own if they wanted to share or don't want to share. Practical examples of such things are newsletter signups, quizzes, customer surveys, gated things, gated form fields. So that's the type of the data customers decides on his own if he wants to share or not want to share, and you're gathering it really proactively. Let's get into the practical examples. So that's data profile, what average e-commerce merchants would get from their customers. You're getting the name, email, SMS, addresses, locations. You'll also get information about the product viewed, like some other, but that's basic example of the basic info what you're getting. And then that's also example of the email sequence, what you'll be able to send with such data gathered. Usually it's one email for all. It's a sequence. In this example, is someone subscribed to your newsletter, you're sending them sign up. Thank you for signing up. In 3 days, you send something else. In 3 days, something else. So it's very non-personalized email template. With a zero-party data, with the data what you gathered through some forms, extra forms, quizzes, etc. on your website, you can build much deeper customer profile. In this example, it's from the brand who is selling some cosmetics. So you're getting also information not only on my location, but also on my skin type, what are my skin concerns, what's age I am, etc., etc., etc. So what zero-party data really allows you is to step into this personalization game. So you won't treat customers like all the same. You really will go into the personalizing your user journey, what's more importantly, also email marketing, etc., for them as the individuals. Because as we know, following the statistics, if the website and overall interaction with the customers are not personalized, 74% of customers feel frustrated. I would feel frustrated if, for example, I come into the store from whom I'm ordering usually my clothes. They wouldn't know that, oh, I'm usually ordering size M. Why you're sharing me on a homepage everything what doesn't have size M? I'm logged in. Why you're doing that? So that's basically where main benefit of the zero-party data comes in. And when you getting such insights, you can personalize all the, for example, email communication with the customers much better. Then you're not sending them the same messages anymore. Let's say you have information about what routine your customers have. Are they morning people or they are night time people? Then you could send them completely different email sequences and personalize the content fully, which at the end will increase conversions for sure. That's a very high-level explanation how the zero-party data is usually gathered. So you're getting new people to your website, you're asking them the questions through the forms, through the surveys, then you are giving them some value. So you're recommending the products, why they would ask the questions. For sure, you need to give some value back. So you're showing them recommended products. Sometimes you'll also give them the discount. And at the end, you're using all the information what you gathered through these interactions in your personalized flows, in campaigns, in overall customer research. That's how it works on a very high level. So to summarize, the difference between the first-party data and the zero-party data comes down to how users grant consent. While first-party data is gathered passively via customers' interactions, user intentionally hand over the zero-party data. That's what you need to remember if someone will tell you, oh, do you know what is zero-party data? You can tell them exactly that's it. But throughout this presentation, I'll use the term first-party data since theoretically it's also correct. Let's go on further. So now we are clear on the definitions. What is first-party data? What is zero-party data? Now let's get to the strategies to implement zero-party data marketing into your business. First of all, how we're starting. We need to decide what data we really need. We can't just start gathering all possible data. Users won't be happy to do it, and it's not meaningful. It's too consuming. So think really what data you would want to get from the customers, and I really advise to do it in a form of the free-form conversation with the customers. So assume you're not just don't think about the website as such, speak about the real interactions with the customer on in a retail store, what you would ask them naturally, how it really sounds. So think about this data points, what you would want to gather from them. If you were in fashion business, you want to know their shoe size, you may want to know their overall t-shirt sizes, you may want to know their birthday, etc., etc., etc. So you need to have the plan before you start gathering the data. That's the first point. Second point is the mapping micro-commercial funnel. Basically, when you are clear what data you want to gather, you need to figure out where you'll be gathering it. And in our case, the most practical thing to do it is doing the sort kind of the audit, having understanding of every stage where customer interacts with you, from awareness to retention and advocacy, and figure out where and how you'll be capturing this lead information. I'll show you as a practical example. That's how such microfunnel conversion may look like. There's a list of the interactions where user interacts with your website, on which pages, and that are the stages. Where are they in the user journey? And then there is this the micro conversion. That's how usually the funnel looks like, and lead capture list for average e-commerce merchants. It's basically some basic pop-ups here and there, then you do not covering the full user journey. And that's how it usually gets after you're doing the proper revision and with thinking about the micro conversion funnel in mind. You're reworking your current existing signups, you're making sure they're following best practices, and then you're really thinking throughout the whole user journey, what's included there, and like really on which stage you want to ask what questions, since you do not want to ask everything on the homepage, for example, right? That's the second part. So, and then the third part, when you gathered, when you're clear what you want to gather, you basically also clear how and where you want to gather it. You need to have the proper data tech foundation to gather it. If you're like small e-commerce business, they usually have just website, you have Google Analytics connected. That's it, nothing else. It's, but yeah, if you're more mature business, you may have much more complex foundation for your data stack. You may have data warehouses, you may have some ingestion layers, you then have some analytics, maybe ETL layers, etc., etc. For first party data, we'll speak actually a bit later in a few minutes. What do we suggest to use for everyone, for small business, for enterprises? But overall, you need to figure out that you have a way to efficiently access the data what you're gathering and gather this data in a unified manner, so it really can be distributed to all other channels efficiently. That's one of the things what we practically suggest to take. It's basically understanding where do you stand from your maturity level from analytics and from data perspectives. There are usually 5-6 stages. You may even do not do anything. You may be really on a basic level, or you may be on an expert level, but usually we do not see anyone, even like Uber is not yet on a predictive analytics level, being the expert there. And there are two tools what we can use. Actually, we at ScanDiop also offer absolutely free audit manually by our experts who can do your maturity audit for data and analytics. So you can scan the QR code, go to the page, check it out. And there's also the audit by Google Digital Maturity Benchmark, which is fully online. It's not like personalized by person hand, but it's also a good tool just to figure out where do you stand in terms of the maturity in a business and what actually tech stack do you need. Since, I mean, if you are smaller e-commerce business, it doesn't make much sense for you to set up all the data warehouses, real-time dashboards, etc. But there definitely, you may be really more like enterprise business and you're really lacking some basic things that can really show you the gap. So you have two choices. So let's go to this fourth stage. So when you already have the place where you will be storing all the data, so you have the data text foundation, it's time to activate your data, what you're gathering. So it's activation stage. And these are the most popular use cases, how first-party data is being activated. You may just create more accurate customer profiles, so get to know better your customers, or personalization, as already mentioned, one-to-one user journey personalization, email campaigns personalizations, SMS flow personalizations is very frequent case for first-party data gathered, for zero-party data gathered. And then it's being used to optimize marketing campaigns, optimize targeting for these campaigns, to re-engage consumers for sure. You just, like on practice, you're getting the list, like the lists of your customers, their profiles, maybe their Facebook links, etc. Then you can upload this list with the emails to Facebook, to any other platform, and retarget them more efficiently. Yeah, that's a basic, like that's the basic activation things, but actually there are much more use cases out there. That's another example how it can be used for, since I already mentioned, the most frequent use case for zero-party data is using it for personalization. That's another example. User, let's say, taking a quiz at your store to find your perfect skincare routine. Then you're getting the data about the user, what's their skin type, what's their age, what their concerns, allergies, is their skin sensitive, and what's their email address. And at the end, you're giving them the coupon code. Nice, you're giving them something back, you're showing the product recommendations. And then in all the email sequences, you do not just split the email sequences, you also personalize the content without the email sequences. So in this case, you're adding to the content, so we know that their skin is dry, and they are concerned about wrinkles. So everything you need to take care of your dry skin and prevent wrinkles. You just add this content directly to your emails. How great is it? And you also personalize the product you're sending to them specifically for their concerns, for the information what you gathered from them already. And yeah, it can't not increase conversions. And the fifth stage, when you activate all the data, for sure, it's a refinement and validating the data and measure everything. It's kind of, yeah, it's everyone clear that, yeah, you need to measure, you need to refine, you need to validate how your strategy is working. But one practical case, actually, it was shared on Think by Google, I think. So how measurement helps, specifically with first-party data activation. One famous car brand, basically they were using the shows, physical shows, to generate the leads, but they actually saw that, okay, it doesn't bring them afterwards hundreds of the leads that they generated through the shows. No, they weren't buying the cars, so they're not really actionable. So they changed the strategies, they start building the landing pages where people, the leads, can create their car online and then go to, let's say, to the demo or like have a book a demo for a car for a test drive. And then it generated much more actionable leads. So if they wouldn't measure anything, they wouldn't change their strategy. So that's the way how you can, yeah, that's just a reminder that it's for sure makes sense to measure your any actions. So that's 5 basic steps on what you need to do to implement the first data and zero-party data within your marketing strategies. To recap it quickly, 5 steps. They were: decide what data you need, map the micro conversion funnel on a store, set up data tech foundation, activate the data, and refine, validate, and measure. Now let's get to the most exciting part, the practical hints, tricks, what we get from the e-commerce merchants out there. And yeah, maybe you'll be able to take some practical things from that. We will try to cover all stages, so from the collection to the activation, but yeah, there will be a lot of practical examples. First one is using CDP, such as segment.com. CDP is a customer data platform. And Segment is one of the top-rated CDPs out there. It's the easiest to implement for smaller business, for a bigger business. In essence, how does it what role does it play in the first data marketing? Without Segment, in a basic step, you have all systems interconnected between themselves. For example, you have your website, and it's connected most probably to the Google Tag Managers, and it's connected to analytics. Then you have your CRM system. It can pass some data to the mobile app. Then you have the intercom live chat or any other live chat. It connects directly to the website as well. And there can be a lot of such third-party systems. While with the segment, it allows you to, first of all, configure all the sources from where you're getting the data. Is your data warehouse, your website, your mobile app, etc. And then it distributes it to all the destinations, such as analytics platform, messengers, any third-party system which require the data from your sources. The best way there that it basically allows you to build this unified customer profile in the middle. Otherwise, for example, you have a website and you want to gather more first-party data. Let's say you launch the surveys. Where the data from the surveys will come? Most probably it will just come to this survey third-party type form or whatever you are using. But with a segment, it allows you to put all this data points, what you're getting about your customers, to one single system, and then it will be stored there. And then you will be getting the full picture of your customer profile. It includes both user behavior data. It will include statistic about how they interact with your emails. It will include their information, such as names, certain all the possible touch points. And then it's you who decided where this information needs to go. Does it need to go to the Facebook audience? Great. Does it need to go to my email marketing system? Great. And then when you want to switch some systems, it's really much easier to do it, because you are the owner of your data. It's stored there, and then you decide where it needs to be moved. So that's really a kind of great tool, what we're now suggesting almost to every merchant, what you can set up to really be prepared for first-party data playing a much bigger role in your business. That's otherwise, without it, it will be a struggle, just because it still can work without it, but it will be much more painful to pass the data from one system to another, etc. The second advice is go for server-side tracking. Yeah, it's boring, it's analytics topics, it's maybe for developers. But all in all, it also relates to the first-party data marketing topic, because as such, server-side tracking allows you to gather more precise insights about the user behavior on your web store if you, let's say, set up analytics through it. So what is server-side in essence? If you can have your Google Tag Manager and analytics tags, everything configured on the client side, so it will all run in the browser. But then there is server-side technology appeared quite a while ago, and most of the merchants are moving to the server-side. So in the server-side, it's basically firing all the events from the server, so it's not happening anymore on a client side. And at the end, it gives you improved web performance, since less tags will be firing on the client side. It also will allow you to have like more precise data, since such things as ad blockers won't be able to block the traffic anymore, which is great. And overall, it's better security and data ownership because you are storing this data in a Google Cloud, and yeah, it's more secure, and you're the owner of the data. That's the representation, how it works. So if you're not technical, it may not tell you anything, but just without server side, everything is happening in your basically browser, client-side environment. With server side, a lot of the things are happening on a server basically, and then it's allows to get much more precise insights for user behavior and to pass, let's say, to the Facebook with Facebook copy, more precise information on the conversions happening. So that's our second advice, to be ready for world without third-party cookies, and overall to get more precise insights. Server side is the way to go. The third thing, it will be more or less technical thing, more exciting stuff going on. The third thing is replace your existing pop-ups with conversational pop-ups. That's the third hint what we can give or working with the merchants out there, what it means on practice. You see this animal on a screen, so it appears unexpectedly. Maybe it just grass and an animal appears. And for the most e-commerce merchants, you go to their websites and there are banner appear right away. It's ask you for an email. You just close them. You just close them. You don't care about them. On practice, so how it looks like for majority, it just you come and it straight away tells you, oh, hi, give me your email and I'll give you a discount code. It's very aggressive. It's very aggressive. Nobody likes aggressive people, and therefore nobody will like aggressive websites as well. So what the suggestion is to change it to more conversational pop-ups. So if you assume, if you just meet your customer in a store, in a retail space, how your conversation would look like, most probably it wouldn't be like, give me your email. You may ask him, do you need help figuring out what product is right for you? Okay, I'm going to ask you a few questions and find you the perfect product and give you a discount. Great. On the next stage, you ask, so what was the best email or phone number to reach you at? At the end, thank you, answering all your questions. Here's a perfect set of products for you. Please, please, please buy this product. Here also a discount code for you. So it's much less aggressive. It's like real human touch. And here is this example, what like similar examples to what was already showing. You are showing, like, you greet the website, greet the customer with the questions. You offer him the discount. You ask, like to unlock the discount, you're asking them for email to be entered, then you're giving them the discount and recommending some products, and then you're most importantly saving the data, first-party data, which later you will leverage for your marketing campaigns and all the stuff what we just discussed. Here, example of this conversational pop-ups, which works great. So it's not just about share email with me, but it's about trying to offer value to the customer, give them something back, and then step into conversation with them, which for sure should convert better. And number four is enhance your lead generation forms. So before we spoke about the pop-ups, but there are other lead generation forms available, and the main thing to remember there is that you need to offer really value in exchange for data. You need to offer value, you need to propose something to the customers. You can't directly ask them for something. And here we'll just drop for you some 10 plus examples. Here are some random ideas what to implement. Not really random, they were tested, but you feel free to pick up at least few from your store. So first one, you need to describe the value of the newsletter in the subscription pop-up. Just don't ask just for, okay, please, like give me your email. And even maybe not subscription pop-up, but even this subscription for the newsletter form, what you have in a footer. Describe what's going to be expected there. Describe with as much information as possible. Give value, show the value, what's going to be expected. Then you need to leverage the timed pop-ups. So you shouldn't show it just right away, show it in the right moment when they're about to exit or when they're on the right user journey step. That's why you're doing this micro conversion funnel mapping to then figure out what will be the right timing to show these pop-ups, which will increase probability for user to be converted. Then you can launch exclusive giveaways, right? So you may not just ask user for email, but try giveaways. Like in this example, win a 14-day bigger ritual or win a gift card for $200. That's much more engaging way to get people information than just blindly asking for their email in a pop-up which appearing right away. So giveaways is a great way. Then you can also reach the audience through the messengers. So it's also you can experiment with not just asking about their emails, but integrating the social login forms there, and let's say sending the coupon code in the messenger or any other social network out there. And like at the end, it will give you access to the customer messenger right away, which later on you can use for the remarketing and any other things what your marketing team will figure out. You can also promote your exclusive content through this lead capture forms. So it's not only about telling, give me your email, but it's about telling, guys, I want to give you back my toolbox kit for self-confidence. Do you want to write the email? No, thank you. I do not need it. Or maybe get inside the knowledge of the world best places. So explore the world, see the content, what do you have? See this content, what you really have, and figure out what you can give away and use it for the lead capture forms. Other things that we suggest to critically evaluate the places on your store where you currently miss the opportunity to capture the data. Like one practical case, what we are spotting on our side, the merchant, they're selling a lot of stuff online, but they're also hosting the events locally in different cities. And basically, they have information there about where event will happen, how to sign up for the event, like in terms of a phone call, I believe, but they do not use this real estate to capture customer information. So it would be really very organically and naturally to ask them for customer information for their email to, let's say, reserve a spot there or just to add it to their calendar. So do not miss real opportunities to capture customer data. See what are the options on your website to capture this extra data. Then success page is other great page, which is frequently forgotten. You can leverage it to subscribe people to the email, to remind them, or to invite them to join your loyalty program, or to, let's say, if they didn't provide the phone number, tell them, remind them, okay, do you want to get updates about the shipping information? Please enter your phone number. So there are unlimited opportunities. Success page should be leveraged as well. And the post-purchase communication is other point. After they converted, basically, you are sending them email, you have some other possibilities to communicate with them perhaps, and many brands are using it to convert customers more into their community. So like as in this example from the fashion store, join the movement. So they try to push them to the community or to sign up for their loyalty program, to remind about their loyalty program. Post-purchase journey is is basically a great place to start getting much more first data as well. We are getting to the hint number 5. Follow sign up form best practices. So we covered until now different suggestions, but that's usually the slide where you can make a screenshot. That's a very practical guide on the best practices for forms. If you decide to use conversational pop-ups, or if you just decide to enhance your existing inputs, your existing forms on the website, follow these 8 things. So you need to keep the form short, use a social proof, leverage the scarcity, use a good design, give it a name, give it a face, give it a format, and soften the CTA. I just went through it very quickly, but on practice, that's a visual how it can look like So it's maybe not the best visual example, but it has all the right content. So you give your form, and it's the example of the newsletter. You give the newsletter the name, it's Harry newsletter. You give it a face. You then have specific format explained what to get from it. Then you have a social proof that it's actually #1 marketing newsletter and a lot of people enjoyed it. Then you have the clear call to action as well. So that's very practical steps to be implemented. Number six, that's my lovely step. Make one main survey or quiz on a website. That's what majority of the businesses miss nowadays, but there are plenty of opportunities almost for any business to figure out to add a quiz to your store that will help customers to find the perfect product. For example, perfect product. There can be other types of the quizzes. Here is a practical example for an eyewear company. They're having the quiz to find you the best match for your next glasses. They ask you the questions such as, which one of these chin shapes do you identify you the most? How does the width of your forehead compare to the width of your cheeks? Would you consider your face length short or long? They're like asking questions, and then they will give me suggestion for the product, what I need to buy. And it needs to be integrated on a concrete step of your user journey. It can be either a separate page or it can be integrated on a PDP page. That's for sure you need to explore. But as such, the quizzes work great to get the extra information about the customers and also gives them value back. There are some other examples of the quizzes available. That's from the Men Shaving Club, I believe. So they recommend you the right product. They really give you the confidence that you're doing the right choice right now. Let's say you have dozens of products available and you need to really read through everything, what I like, understand what really do I need. But with a quiz, I just answer few questions and I right away get suggested of something what I need. So it's real value for the customers. And the best part, for sure, you know already, you're getting their data, which you can later leverage in your marketing campaigns. There are some other examples from gardeners, from fitness brand, from all kinds of the brands. So the trend is that there is a quiz appearing in somewhere in navigation bar or on PDP. That's the most frequent places where we see the quizzes gets integrated. Number 7, use the first-party data to personalize email and SMS marketing. That's what I already mentioned several times. That's the most practical thing, how you can leverage deeper in, like I would say, the most practical and the most thing which can bring you the biggest returns is to leverage it for email marketing, SMS marketing. That's the easiest way to right away show to use the value of it. And there are plenty of ways how you can use it in the email marketing. You can do the conditional spread, you can personalize subject lines, you can personalize the products within the emails, you can personalize the images, you can personalize the copies. We went through the several examples or this way, we won't go through it as well, since the essence is the same. Get as much as possible deep data about the customer profiles and then leverage them to personalize the copies, images, and the products what you're recommending within the emails. Number 8, don't forget about other ways to collect the first-party data, since there are plenty of them. We mentioned the quizzes, etc., but there are also loyalty programs. Loyalty programs are a great way to get more insights about your customers because they get this instant gratification. So you give something back right away. For example, oh, please tell us when your birthday, oh, get 20 points. Or share with us your phone numbers, get points. That's for sure quite, I mean, two straightforward examples I'm telling, but you got the point. So you can ask people for more information. You can ask them for some things what you need to have the full customer profile on hand, and you're giving them something back in terms of the loyalty points. Surveys is other great point. You may run the surveys, your customer support team runs the surveys, but at the end, where this data is coming, like where is the data? Do you use this data for better marketing insights? Not sure. So the best to integrate all the data you're getting from the surveys, also to build up your customer profile. CRM systems, ERP systems, very frequently they're disconnected and they live in other world. But let's say in your ERP system, you are storing the average order information for every customer. So you overall have information about all orders customer made. So definitely you can understand what their average order size. You also can get this data integrated in the segment or whenever and have understanding, okay, how big orders these customers can make. And then you can send them related emails and personalized user journey accordingly. Then apps, it's not obvious example, but more enterprise brands releasing the apps and they're releasing the apps which are not directly related with their business. For example, Nike, they sell shoe, right? They sell the lifestyle products for sports. And it's like would be logically if they release the app, which is just their store. But no, they're releasing the app for training. They're releasing the app for sport community. All the like customers may think, oh, how Nike is super nice. They are supporting the community. They're supporting us. They allow us to train. But at the end, they really leverage all the insights, what they get from your profiles to have a better targeted campaigns and have better understanding of your profiles. They're getting a lot of first-party data from it. So Nike app, where you can train, you for sure answer their own question, such as how frequently do you train? Are you a pro, amateur, or it's your just first training out there? Do you train with friends or alone? So it allows you, yes, you're sharing a lot of information, which is later used to build up your profile and better target all the ads. Then use ready-to-use solutions. That's the suggestion number 9. We are close to the very end. Ready-to-make solutions. For example, if you are more enterprise merchants, you may already have a big suite, for example, such as dynamic yield or similar, where you already have all the functionality of the pop-ups, so you don't have any technical bottlenecks. But if you're just want to enhance your current user journey with better tools to gather more first-party data in a smarter way, no need to go to the custom development, no need to spend hundreds of the hours out there on the development, but go for the ready-to-make tools. These are the 3 what we suggest as the top ones: ConvertFlow for personalized pop-ups, quizzes. Octane AI, actually a great tool for if you're on Shopify specifically. It allows users to build conversational pop-ups and product quizzes. Octane Monster is great for all this exit intents, etc. So you definitely can find on the market the tool which will solve your need. And last slide number 10. Is my lovely slide. Same as I'm starting every presentation with the same slides, I'm also ending them with the same slides, telling that all of it does not matter unless you implement at least one of the things tomorrow. So think about all the things what we shared today. What really, some of things may seem obvious to you, some may be not so obvious. So which of them you could implement, which at least one you could implement tomorrow, and then it will be a big success. You'll get a great value out of this webinar. Thank you very much. That's actually it. I will be very happy to answer some questions. We are running a bit out of time, so please drop any questions you may have, and we may answer on them later in the email. And stay connected. Write me in case you have any questions about commerce overall, or first-party data, or zero-party data. Who knows? Let me simply check what were the comments here in the chat. Painting are great. Super. Wow, what's the gallery? Nice. I will tell colleagues they can paint. Pop-ups are a real pain while mobile browsing, just closing the website immediately. That's very true. Pop-ups are a pain. You need to do it in a smart way. And then Alexander commented, Nike selling your progress using their apps and products. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Glebs. Great presentation. Thank you, Alexander. Thank you for being here. So thank you, guys. We are ending here. Drop your questions. We will share them later, we'll share all the presentation later on and answer on any other questions which will come later. Thank you very much. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.